Whoa, what happens when a TV interview just completely implodes? We are about to break down a Fox News shouting match that went from 0 to 100 real quick. You are not going to want to miss this, so hit that like and subscribe button right now, and let's jump in.
And it all kicked off with this single tweet. Right after the show, Democrat strategist Mike Nellis posted this, and that one little word, triggered, well, it just blew up online.
So let's get into the ringside seats for this one. This wasn't a debate, folks. This was a brawl. We're going to look at the exact moments this whole thing just went completely off the rails. So right from the jump, as Nellis tries to make a point, Jesse Watters just cuts him off. He immediately drags the conversation back to Chicago, making it personal and questioning if his guest even cares about his own city.
And just like that, it escalates. It's not even about the city's issues anymore. Watters goes straight for a direct attack on Chicago's mayor, basically questioning his sanity for not accepting help.
So Nellis, he tries to bring it back to a human level. He talks about what it would actually feel like to live there, taking his own kid to school past military tanks. But Watters just jumps right in to shout him down. It got ugly.
Okay, let's hit pause for a second. How did we even get to this point? Let's rewind and see what they were actually supposed to be talking about before all the fireworks started.
So, this was the whole reason Nellis was on the show. The topic was Donald Trump's threat to send the National Guard into Chicago, all in the name of fighting crime. And you gotta understand, this threat didn't come out of nowhere. There's a pattern here. The National Guard had already been sent into other major cities like LA and DC, so Chicago looked like it was next on the list. All right, so let's break this down like a prize fight. What were the two core arguments clashing in the middle of all that shouting? This is the point Nellis was desperately trying to make. He's basically saying, hey, if we're really worried about crime and other problems, why are we only looking at cities run by Democrats? And he came with receipts. He tried to point out that Louisiana is the nation's murder capital, that Oklahoma has issues with its schools, and Arkansas with teen pregnancy rates. He was arguing the focus on Chicago was all about politics. So you can really boil this whole fight down to these two clashing ideas. Team Nellis says, look at the states with the worst stats, no matter their politics. But Team Watters says, nope, Chicago is a massive crisis, and its Democratic leadership is the real problem. Okay, so Nellis dropped some pretty big claims about crime in red states. You have to ask, right? Do the numbers actually back him up? Well, let's find out. So who's right? Is the intense focus on Chicago totally justified by the numbers? Or was Nellis actually onto something with his whataboutism? All right, we're not just going with our gut here. This is from a serious deep dive into official FBI data by the folks at Axios. Let's see what they found. And here it is. Of the top 20 cities in the entire U.S. with the highest murder rates, a whopping 13 of them are in red states. That's 65%. Pretty wild, right? And just look at some of the cities at the top of that list. We're talking Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, St. Louis, Missouri. This data directly backs up the exact point Nellis was trying to make on air. So, if the data shows the worst crime rates are actually somewhere else, what is really going on here? Let's zoom out from the shouting match for a second and look at the bigger political game being played. And when you look at this chart, a very, very clear pattern starts to show up. All the cities that get targeted for this kind of action, LA, DC, and now Chicago, they're all massive Democratic strongholds. Chicago alone votes about 80% Democratic. And this brings us to this key idea, political theater. Is the goal here to actually solve a problem, or is it to put on a big, dramatic show for your supporters to score points? Which leaves us with the million-dollar question. After seeing the fight, the data, and the political map, what do you think this is really about? Is threatening to send tanks into Chicago a real plan to fight crime, or is it just a powerful way to attack your political rivals? All right, that's our breakdown, but now we really want to know what you think. Drop your take in the comments below. Let us know what you think is really going on here. And that's all we've got for this one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do us a solid and smash that like button and subscribe for more explainers just like this. We'll catch you on the next one.